Sephora Squad got announced this week, and somehow people have lost their minds. There's so many critiques about the program itself, the people who got selected in relation to the people who didn't get selected, and all of that. For the people out there with the critique that program is only geared towards mega creators, being a macro creator doesn't really start until you hit about 1 million followers. The highest number that I saw of followers was about 500,000 on one platform. That's a big number, but in the overall industry, like, that's not huge, not massive, not crazy massive. The second point that I want to make is that, I'm trying to get my eyebrow right. This is a year-long contract. And as someone who has been in one of these like year-long projects before, you've only been at this for 2 years and you've never had like long-term partnership in which you have a deliverable due once or twice a month, I promise you, you would fail within that type of program. And you wouldn't fail necessarily because you aren't talented. You would fail because you are likely not used to that level of production back to back to back to back to back. That is not to say that somebody who's newer couldn't be successful within the program, but I will say if you are at like 30,000 followers, it's very unlikely that you've had those types of partnerships before, and therefore getting into this program with this big of a brand, it might be a little bit too hard for you. Are you ready for the responsibilities that come with the opportunities? One of the other critiques that I saw that I feel like was just really is about the amount of Black creators that were all signed to the same agency. I'm talking about Kensington and Gray. There's no really like need in not saying their name. From my understanding, Kensington and Gray was created because there was a lack of advocacy and diversity in management for Black creators within the beauty space. And they created that agency to fill that need, to turn around and look at this list of people and be like, ugh, they're all signed to the same agency is diabolical. You wanted these Black girls in these programs, and the way that they were able to get into these programs was by working hard, finding a manager that aligned with their needs, and then having their managers advocate for them to get them onto these lists and into these programs. And when you say that you deserve something and like somebody else got something that you wanted, what you are insinuating is that you deserve something and someone else didn't. They didn't work as hard as you. They weren't putting out as much content as you. It's really easy in this industry to like get inside of your own head and look at the work that you're doing and thinking that like you're the only person working, because content creation can be a very like insular thing that you do at home by yourself. But I'm signed to an agency in which I'm one of the smaller creators. We met up to have like a retreat for all the women on my agency, and I sat down and I talked to some of the girls who were in the like 500, 600 range. They were talking to me about things that they were doing with their accounts that I was like, I don't want to do that. Sometimes when you're out here and you're seeing people have opportunities that you don't have, you have to recognize that they may be working at a level that you're not working at, and you don't even realize that you really should be or need be to working at that level. And that's okay. That's not their fault. That's not even your fault. It just is what it is. And I'm not talking about people doing something nefarious or, something that they shouldn't be doing or anything like that. Me getting upset with them about them reaching a certain level of success because they're doing work that I'm not doing it doesn't make any sense, babe. I were on that list and I was a smaller creator and I wanted to do a series and like network with other people. If I came across a video of you being like, everybody who made the list was just a mega creator and they all have management and they're not working as hard as me, I would never collaborate with you. Energy that you're giving off is very much so, if I don't get something, everybody else who got it is like lying, cheating, stealing, and dying to get something that I didn't get. They stole an opportunity from me. And the reality is that they didn't. Sometimes they was just maybe working harder than you. Or sometimes it's just not your time. Or if you get into the content creation business, is that one, you have to remember that it is a business. And two, sometimes when you don't get picked for something, that is not necessarily a reflection upon who you are or your amount of talent. Sometimes you didn't get picked because somebody else had applied 3 times and you only applied once. Sometimes you didn't get picked because they already had, you know, 4 or 5 creators that were under 20 representing like the Gen Z market, and they wanted some more people who were over 30. And it truly is not personal. Every opportunity that somebody else gets is not an opportunity that was taken away from you. And in this industry, like, people want to make, oh, working with this brand or working with that brand, like they want that to be like the reward for doing the work. But if you tie your worth in this industry and what you do to what brands want to work with you, you're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be happy. You're never going to be fulfilled by this work, because you're doing it for the acceptance of other people. I see a lot of videos of people being like, oh, well, they're just mega creators. They're mega creators. They don't need these opportunities. They shouldn't have applied for this because they were big already and they didn't need any more hype. And I just want to be clear, like, 60,000, 100,000, 200,000, that is not massive. It's not that, it's big, but it's not massive. Those Black women who are getting up and around that 400,000, 500,000 follower count, if they think that this is something that could further their business along and get them to like the next heights, instead of trying to tear them down for wanting to seek more opportunities for themselves, why can't we big them up? Like, you can be like, oh, I'm sad I didn't make it, but I'm happy that this person did. That it's okay to be sad about something. Somebody tweets something about there not being enough diversity on the list. And so when I opened the list, I thought I was about to see just, you know, pale faces, Daenerys Targaryen looking motherfuckers all in through it. And I opened it up, and the first thing I saw was a man. I saw natural hair, plus size, men wearing makeup, men doing more like male grooming, women over 50, gray hair, moms, glam girls, people who do a more natural look, dark skin, light skin, jobbies. I saw some people who appear to be
showers with a high of 43 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 40 degrees.
Thank you, Alexa. It's gonna rain tomorrow, y'all. Honestly, I was shocked about the lack of white girls on there. I see a list of something, and the amount of general people of color outnumbers the amount of white people. I'm like, oh, okay. Now, I'm always gonna go for the blacker the better, but to me, I was like, damn, that's a damn good list. Maybe Sephora can come up with another program that is geared towards people with like 20,000 and lower, but I think part of the reason they're not doing that is because gaining a following takes time. And so if you have not invested enough time, it's probably likely that you do not have the skill set, the business admin skill set to manage that type of partnership. That, to me, I think is something that is missing from this conversation about the Sephora Squad, because I think people want to make it a popularity contest, and it might be. It might be, but it could also be that you are not ready for that opportunity because you have never done that type of work. It's so okay to be frustrated about not getting an opportunity that you wanted, but I think publicly talking about your frustrations, it's inappropriate to be on the internet talking about how you didn't get to work with a $1 billion internationally recognized brand because after you had been making content for a year and a half. A year and a half is not a long time in a career when you're building something up from the ground up. It's not a long time. I'm going into my 5th year of creating content. A year and a half, not a long time. Get more ready for the business side of being a content creator and not just assuming that everything is about popularity, because some of this is popularity, but what you're really saying is that this is about networking. Sometimes the reason you're not getting the things that you want is because you are not doing the work that other people are doing who've gotten the things that you want. And that's okay. That's okay. But I encourage you to take those feelings to the group chat, because complaining about them on the internet makes you look bitter. A situation where I am positive there is some type of disparaging, behavioral clause. I'm positive if you run to the internet to complain about something negatively every time you don't get something you want, I guarantee the brands are not going to book you because you talk too damn much. You don't know how to handle your platform. Y'all have a great day. I'm going to the symphony. Bye.